Hey everybody, it's Justice for Comics. I hope everybody had a great 4th of July week, and I wanted to come out with this video to show some things that I picked up here recently on a recent haul and what I got at a local comic book shop. I've highlighted here, if you don't know about it, Gideon Falls is an Image book that came out several months ago. And the writer is Jeff Lemire. It's a very, very good series. The artwork's awesome as well. Andreas Sorrentino is the artist, and it's just very well written and very well drawn. And obviously, a lot of people also thought that because it got picked up for a TV adaptation that in the future. So this book is starting to get really hot. Number one, there's 3 covers. This is the A cover here. There's also a beautiful B cover by Jock, and there's a C cover, which is basically this cover in a Virgin variant style. So, the Jock and the Virgin cover are going for pretty good money. I would say $25 to $30 easily, and this A cover sells between $15 to $20 pretty easily. So I found these at my local shop for cover price, so I picked up 3 of them, and yeah, I'll sell them. I've got all 3 of them already in my collection, so I'll go ahead and sell these and make a nice little profit on that. So once in a while, definitely on something like this, you might be able to find it at your local shop still for cover price, because they may not be aware of the heat on the book right now with that TV adaptation. So. And it's a great book to own as well. So I would definitely recommend owning it if you don't already. But if you happen to see a bunch of copies at your local shop, that's a great book to flip and make a little bit of money on. So that's one thing I picked up this week at my local shop. I also pre-ordered this in advance. This is the Batman 50, and this is the Middleton comic exclusive. The shop, I think, was... I can't remember the comic book shop. It might have been, I think it was Unknown Comics. Either that or Frankie's, one of the two. They do a lot of store exclusives, and I think Middleton, he hasn't done too many store exclusives. So he does a lot of variant covers, and his covers are in high demand. And this one I saw on a solicitation, and I thought, man, I gotta buy that one. It's I think it's one of my favorite covers by him. Obviously, Batgirl 23 is one of my favorite, and that is a hot book right now. That's a $50 comic book, and I still have a couple copies of that. But I think at one time I had 4 or 5 copies of it, and I sold off several copies, for way more than I paid, which was still a good deal. But sometimes it pays to hold on to certain things. So this is the Virgin variant. I think this is a very limited run. I think it's less than 1,000 of the Virgin copies, maybe 500. I could be wrong about that. It might be 1,000. So that's the Virgin cover, black and white with the green eyes. Pretty cool. I actually got that wrong. This is not the Virgin cover. This is the trade dress cover, black and white. So I think this is a limited run of maybe 3,000. Then there's the color version with the Batman logo right there. That's a trade dress, and I think that also is around 3,000 copies of that. And the Virgin cover is just like the color one, just doesn't have the trade dress or the Batman signal. That is the Virgin cover, which is, I think, less than 1,000. I think it's around 500 copies. So yeah, online this book starts to sell for decent money. Long term, I just like Middleton's artwork. I just think it's captivating. He's just very, very good at drawing, very realistic, beautiful pictures. I think he's better than Adam Hughes. He's really good at drawing females and drawing drama. Having that dramatic look. And I think in my opinion, he's better than Adam Hughes at drawing women. So. That says a lot because Adam Hughes is awesome. Here's another one I picked up. This is I think this was another store exclusive. And this is the Rick and Morty issue number 39 variant. And this is the homage to Action Comics #1. So I picked up a couple copies of that. I think they're only like 15 bucks. So I'm a big fan of Rick and Morty, the TV series. If you haven't watched it, I would highly recommend you do so, especially if you're into really funny, demented, and dark humor. It's awesome if you're into that. If you're not into dark humor or just really stupid humor, I wouldn't recommend it. But yeah, it's a smart TV show too. It's very, very well written, and the comic books are doing very, very well. I mean, I bought the whole run, and I've done a video. If you look back at my previous videos, I've done a video just about Rick and Morty comic books because of the success of the TV series. A lot of these comic books are very expensive. The early issues, number one's like a $300 book now. The variants go for even more. Even early issues like number 2, 3, 4, they're going for really good money. So a lot of these variants, I think, are pretty neat to have. Long term, I don't know if there's a lot of value in them. I mean, this is issue 39, but I just thought it was a really cool cover. I love that Action Comics #1 cover, and it's a pretty cool rendition of it. So pick that up. Another one that came out this week that you definitely would want to pick up if you see it at your shop. I doubt you'll see it. Everyone's onto it already, and that's Nightwing number 46. This is the B cover, the Ben Oliver variant. And this is a hot book right now. Nightwing is not, I talked to a lot of shop owners, and when I was asking about this book, there was one or two that had it, had an extra copy or two, but most of them told me that, yeah, they don't have a lot of people subscribe to it, so they didn't get a lot of these covers in, maybe 1 or 2 copies only. So a lot of the shops did not have a big supply of this cover. And this is just an awesome, awesome cover. It reminds me of Gamora. There was a miniseries, a Gamora miniseries. I think it was issue number 2. It was a Matina cover, and it had Gamora's face like this, where half of it was a skull and the other half was her face. Very, very similar to that. And this book's heating up already. I mean, online, eBay, it's selling between $12 and $15 for a brand new book. That's pretty good. I picked up, I think I picked up 4 or 5 copies of this, so I might, eventually flip 1 or 2 copies and definitely keep 2 long term in my collection. I just think it's an awesome, awesome image of Nightwing, and I like Nightwing. He's a good character. I've got his first appearance going back to Tales of the Teen Titans number 44. So awesome, awesome cover. I would highly recommend getting that if you're at your local shop and they have it there. The other one I picked up, I bought this a long time ago, which is the B cover of Cyborg 22. This is the first appearance of a new villain by the name of X-Mechan, I think it is. And that's the desirable cover, is the B cover. That kind of shows them on the cover there. I was at a shop the other day, and they had the A cover there for cover price, so I picked that up. I mean, that's like a $9, $10 book now, and once in a while you'll go to a different shop. They'll have it sitting on a rack. This one's in mint condition, so I picked that up. So you never know what you'll find at a local shop. That's why I like to go there and check things out. I buy a lot of my books online, but the shops can definitely be of value. I also wanted to highlight some things you may want to look for next week that are coming out at your shops. Aliens Dust to Dust. There's an A and B cover. That's the A cover. Some of these Alien series have been really, really good. I really, really like the first issue of this. So I'm looking forward to getting that. That's the A cover. And the B cover looks pretty cool too. It's kind of a neat looking variant cover. So I'm picking up both. Another thing I thought would be worth looking at getting next week, Detective Comics comes out. I've been picking up all these Brooks covers. Mark Brooks is doing the variants on these, and I would recommend picking up that book. I just think he's a very, very good artist. I love that image. So I'm picking up anything that he does. Matina is doing another Flash variant, so I'm sure this one will do well. That's a pretty cool image. I'll be picking that up. Hawkman, I haven't had a chance to read the first issue yet. But I thought that was a very cool. I mean, the artist is. Let me see here again. Yes, Sejic cover. Stefan Sejic. I'm probably brutalizing his name, but that is an awesome image of Hawkman. So I will definitely be picking that up next week. Another one that DC Superman #1 comes out. There's the A cover and the Adam Hughes cover. I like the Adam Hughes cover, so that's probably the one I will pick. We'll see how it goes. I haven't had a chance to read all of the Bendis Superman work yet. Man of Steel, I'm still in the midst of reading that. So, but I hear a lot of good things that people like his writing of Superman so far. So, I'll be picking up that cover. Also, Suicide Squad, the B cover, another great Matina image. Oop, wrong one. Another pretty cool cover by Matina. So I'll be picking that up. I think that does it for. Oh, the other one I bought too was Titans. There's a new story arc here, new team. Looks pretty cool. I love the cover, and another Stefan Sejic cover. So I'm picking that up next week. Wonder Woman, we're getting. This is issue 50. This will probably be worth getting as well. There might be a new character introduced. And I do like the cover there by Frizen. Jenny Frizen, I think is her name. So I'll be picking that up. That looks pretty cool. And Dynamite, I don't really buy any Dynamite books. IDW, I really don't buy IDW very often. Image, I've been buying Isola, however you pronounce it, and I've always been getting the B cover. I just love the artwork in this comic book, and the story's been pretty good so far, and I love these B covers. They're just beautifully, the colors are just amazing. I mean, the artwork's pretty good, but the coloring of this book is fantastic. It's one of the best out there in my opinion. So I'll be picking that up. A couple other honorable mentions. Oh, I've got this on order. I should be getting that anytime soon. The Amazing Spider-Man #1, and I got the one in, I think it's a 1 in 50 variant, and that's the Opeña cover, Jerome Opeña. So I've got that on order. I'll be getting that soon. I'll probably have that in a video coming up. So that's a big book coming out next week. Is Spider-Man #1, the relaunch. What else here? That does it for Marvel. I know X-23, they're relaunching that as well. I'm not really into the cover. I might buy this, if I see it in my shop, I might buy the design cover. That's pretty cool looking for X-23, but not a big X-23 fan. I bought that first appearance X-23 years ago and from somebody, and it was missing a page. So I'm kind of, I don't know. I kind of have a bad feeling about X-23 because of that. The Relay #1. This is, I think this is just another independent by Aftershock. Aftershock's been producing some really good books. I don't know why I can't pull the cover up here on my screen. The Relay #1, it's a Christian Ward cover, and it's pretty cool. He's been doing some really good artwork lately, doing a lot of cover artwork, and that one looks pretty cool. Story sounds interesting. I'll try it out, see if it's any good. There's a couple independents that have been out. I know this is Zenobur #2 is already sold out on Scout Comics. They have very, very short print runs. I know #1 sold out very, very quickly, and that's selling for like $15 to $20. And I bought the B cover, though. It's gorgeous, so the big dragon on it. So the #2, there's no A and B cover. It's just a regular cover. So I picked that up. It's already sold out, so we'll see if it's any good. This other one I picked out, Mort One Shot. I thought this was interesting. Artwork on the cover looked pretty good, and the story sounded pretty interesting as well. It's got the, I don't know, it's kind of a Punisher reference right there. Pretty cool cover, I thought. In Source Point Press, they don't do a lot of books. I mean, they rarely print a book. So the print run on this is probably very, very low. But the story is that it's the last man on Earth, now alone among a landscape of corpses, and how he chooses to spend his time in this new world. A powerful and gripping post-apocalyptic drama that will take a hot knife to your heartstrings. I mean, that was a compelling little write-up there on the description, so I thought, yeah, that might be pretty good. So yeah, I picked that up, and it's sold out already on Midtown, so well, that could be a hot book. We'll see. It depends on what the print run was on that. But those were kind of the books I picked up, or I've got set up for next week, and thought I would highlight that. Again, if you're looking online, you love that Batman 50. I think the story was okay. I wasn't really impressed by it, but that if you see that anywhere, probably online is where you're going to find this. I would pick up that Middleton cover. And again, if you see any Gideon Falls in your local shop, number 1s, number 2s, I would pick those up if you can get them for cover. I wouldn't overpay for sure. That book is hot right now, but in a few months it may not be once the news dies down on it. And obviously it could jump up again once the TV show comes out. You could see some action on it. So, it might be worth holding a few copies if you think it's going to really jump when the TV show premieres. But right now, you could pick this up for cover, maybe at your local shop, and unload it for $15 to $20. That's a pretty good deal right there. I do that a lot on certain books, and I redeploy that capital into new comic books. So it's a good way to use comic books to expand your collection, I suppose, is what I view it as. So I hope everybody has a great week, and I will be posting a new video either over the weekend or early next week about some other books that I've got on order that have come in. Should be getting them here in a few days. And if you guys have any comments, I'd love to hear them. Please post them. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell for notifications. Hope everybody has a great week. Thanks, guys.